Hi Willow, happy Wednesday. Do you know, this is the penultimate Wednesday we're going to have before our half-term holidays. How exciting is that? The one before the last. So next week will be our last Wednesday before the half-term holidays. How exciting. So, today we're going to be thinking about our English skills. We're going to be doing some spelling, grammar, punctuation activities. We're going to be doing we're going to be looking at some different texts and thinking about the layout of those texts. And these are the kind of activities that we would maybe normally do in a guided reading session at school. So we've got lots of different things going on, but all to do with our English language learning. So that is the plan for today. I've got a book that you may have noticed has been on my shelf, How to Sound Really Clever, and I've looked in the A section and I've got a word here that I think might be quite fun to research and find out. So this is a word which is an adjective. So remember, we've been thinking about adjectives, they're describing words, aren't they? And this word is an old French word, and I wonder if you can find out what it means and whether you can use it in a sentence. The word is alarmist. Alarmist. I'm going to leave it there. I'll make a little video for the end of this video and I'll reveal the answer to you then. Okie dokie, so our task A, we are learning to use prefixes to make a verb mean the opposite. Now I know you've been doing some suffix works with Mr. Wise, so we know that a suffix is something we put on the end of a word. We're going to be thinking about something you put onto the beginning of a word today, and in doing so, it will make your word or your verb mean a different thing. So to warm up, I've got a little bit of work here that I would like you to look at. Remember, with our warming up tasks, you can write it down or you can just discuss it or think about it. But I'd like you to practice your punctuation. So here we've got some sentences which they don't have their punctuation in them. So I'd like you to think about or write down how you could correct them. So Mr. Barnes filled the watering can. Well, I'm looking at that and initially I can see no capital letter at the start of the sentence. I can see no capital letter for Barnes. Barnes is a name, so we need a capital letter. Where's the full stop punctuation at the end of the sentence? Okie dokie. So I want you to go through each one and think, oh, where's the mistake? Where can I spot the mistakes? And how can I fix it? So that's your warming up. For your main task, I would like you to read this little section here, which says about what opposites are and how you make a word or a verb an opposite. And then you've got some practice here that I'd like you to do. So it says write the opposite of each of these verbs by adding the prefix un. The first one has been done for you. So you've got wrap, wrapping something up. If you put un, the prefix in front of the word wrap, it means unwrap. So it's the opposite of wrapping. Okie dokie. So can you do the next one? Do, what would the next one be? Undo. Oh, do you know what? I've gone the wrong way. I've gone down where we should be going across. Look, Mrs. Ward, you weren't looking properly. It says A, B, C. So B is actually pack. So we've got pack and unpack. Yes, well done. So you've got to do that as your practice first of all. And then you've got some sentences here. It says rewrite these sentences and change each verb. Remember, verbs are action words. Verbs are action words. So change each verb to give the sentence the opposite meaning. So Maria packed her case on Saturday. So the first one would be Maria unpacked her case on Saturday. If you want to take it further, then you can try this making sure section. And the making sure section is having a go at a different type of prefix. So here we've got the prefix dis. So instead of trust, distrust, and then rewriting these sentences. So it's a little bit of extra practice if you'd like it. So for task B, we are learning to develop our English skills. We're going to be looking at some spelling, some word study, some punctuation and some grammar work. So to warm up, I've given you some homophones. Can you have a think about what they mean and how are they different? So we've got there, and there. and buy. They sound the same, but they're spelt differently and they've got different meanings. Do you know the difference between each one? Can you prove it to me? And then your main task, I have got a little snippet for you here of a really great workbook which tests lots of different English skills. So I'd like you to have a go at just this day one here. And we've got questions 1 to 15, and you can give your score at the bottom. Maybe ask somebody at home to mark it for you, or you can send it to me and I'll mark it for you. So that's what I'd like you to do. And then after you've done that, have a think, are there any areas that you need to work on? Okay. And then if you want to take it further, I have given you a similar thing. It's a little bit longer. It's from the revision section. So you've got 30 questions instead. Again, you can mark it yourself or ask someone to mark it and give yourself a score and think about the areas you want to work on again. So that's if you want to take it further. I've also given you day 2, day 3 and day 4. I'm not expecting you to do this today, but if you want to do it another time to practice these skills, then you can do it. It's there if you want it. But if you don't want it, that's absolutely fine. I just thought I'll give you extra, and if you use it, great. If you don't, great as well. It's totally up to you. But I'm here to help with your learning, so I'll try and give you whatever I think might be useful. I've got a little quote here. Eat your dinner is not the same as eat your dinner. And it says spelling and punctuation matter. So that's a little, well, I thought it would be quite fun motivation to think about where our full stops go, our apostrophes here, what does this word mean, how is it different? Punctuation is very important, boys and girls. So have a go at these tasks today and let me know how you get on. Last task of the day. We are learning to consider the layout of a text, and we are thinking about headings, text and pictures. Warming up. How do you like a page to look when you're reading it? Do you like lots of pictures? Do you like headings? Do you like information all in one block, or do you like it to be spaced out by paragraphs? Have a think about how you like it to look and what would motivate you to read something. If you saw just a piece of paper with just loads of writing and nothing else, would you think, oh, I don't want to do it? What would make you want to read something? Okay, that's your warming up task. Main task, I want you to have a look at 3 different texts I've got. They're all about food chains, but they're set out slightly differently. So have a look at the 3 of them, read them, and then I've got some questions I'd like you to think about. So number 1, what do you think about the different layouts? Number 2, which text do you find the easiest to scan and find information quickly? Number 3, do you find the headings useful? Which ones and why? Is the mixture of text and diagrams useful to you and why? And number 5, which text and layout do you prefer? Which one is your favorite and why? So if we have a little look, see here it says text 27, food chains 1. So we need to have a little read of it, have a look at the way it's set out. Then we've got text 28, food chains 2. Same again, give it a read, think about the way it's set out. Do you like this? Why not? And then we've got text 29, food chains number 3. Again, we've got more information about food chains. Have a think about whether you like the way this is set out. Does it give you the same amount of information or not? Which one is your favorite one? So that is your main task. For taking it further, because you've been doing so much work on food chains through looking at the text, can you make your own food chain for animals that live in the ocean? And I've given you an example. Can you think of your own one? Okie dokie. So that is, I'm just checking I've said everything from this task C worksheet, and I have, which is fantastic. Well done, Mrs. Ward. So I hope you have enjoyed these English tasks today, the guided reading that we've been doing, and I will see you next week. I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I can't wait to see all your brilliant work. Take care, Willow class. Bye. I hope you've enjoyed all the English work today. I've given you quite a lot of extra things to do, so you can come back and revisit it another time if you'd like to work on those skills. Alarmist. Alarmist means somebody who is causing needless alarm. So an example of this in a sentence is, some scientists say talk of global warming is alarmist. Can you think of an example where you could use alarmist, somebody who's causing needless alarm and panic in a sentence? Okie dokie. Have a lovely weekend. Enjoy your lessons with Mr. Wise, and I will see you next week, which will be our last week before the May half-term holidays. See you then. Bye.